Hey, Big Brother fans. So we waited all night and into Sunday morning to see the Power of Veto results, and we have got them for you. They played the POV comp hella late. Feeds went down at about 10 p.m. Eastern, and we're down for like 3 hours with everybody wondering if Vince was going to win it or somebody else that might use it, and he would be forced to make a renom. It's Belinda, and I'm going to give you the Power of Veto comp results, spoilers, and also what the plans are for those on the block, Mickey, Ava, and Kelley, and whether Vince is going to have to put up a fourth nominee this week. Please click subscribe. Let's get into it. Stick around till the end. Also, for a really wild photo of Vince that's going to blow your mind. So in the Saturday player draw, we found out in addition to HOH Vince and nominees, Mickey, Ava, and Kelley playing in the comp, Kelley picked Keanu to play for her, and Will is in the mix too. And Morgan is going to be hosting the comp. What's funny, Mickey was actually thinking she could convince Ava to use the veto on her instead of herself if Ava won, which is funny. Keanu is continuing to push Rachel as the renom. He plans to save Kelley if he wins it, with no idea that she fully hates him and would 100% put Keanu on the block. What's interesting is, despite Ava feeling pressured by Rachel to vote to evict Reilly Thursday night, she is shielding her. Ava said if she got player picks, she would choose Rachel so she could shield herself if she won. If Will won the veto, he might be tempted to take Ava off the block, but that's problematic because he knows the renoms might be allies. However, depending on who's on the block beside her, Ava is fully safe. Vince is considering renomming Ashley. Rachel's being pushed, so Will is smarter to stay out of it. Here's some other live feeds info on pre-veto comp talks. So if anybody comes off the block, there are several people pressuring Vince hard to renom Rachel, and I would say that Lauren probably has the best argument. On Saturday, Lauren was saying if the winner uses the veto, that she was going to go tell Vince, look, I saved you over Zach, somebody I really cared about. I saved you with the veto, and then you voted against me, talking about him flipping over to evict Reilly, and said she's going to tell him, you must put Rachel up. And I mean, Vince had no need to harangue Lauren into using that veto on him. Vince was totally safe. So even more than Rachel being blamed for sending out Reilly, I think Vince had a larger hand in it for being up Lauren's butt to use the veto when he didn't really need it. However, in Vince's defense, I'd have done the same thing. I mean, he 95% knew he was safe, but it was no skin off his back for Lauren to use it, take him off the block, and make him 100% safe. And ultimately, the fallouts on Rachel for the renom she made, and Lauren for playing the veto, knowing who the renom would be. Plus, Vince told Lauren that Rachel was bluffing, and I suspect Vince knew she definitely was not. Speaking of bad reads, kind of weird that some of the house guests are speculating about what Rachel's husband is thinking of her gameplay. Saturday, we had Kelley, Keanu, and Vince talking, and Kelley was saying if Vince won the veto and took her off the block and renommed Rachel, she was telling Vince he would get America's favorite player for that. But Vince said he's pretty sure Rachel is winning that, and Kelley was saying, really? And Vince said, yeah. So what's funny is the house guests were misted because they thought Reilly had a chance at AFP. He does not. I would say the bulk of the fandom would tar and feather Reilly before giving him $5, much less $50,000. Then Kelley goes on about how she didn't think Rachel would get AFP after she destroyed a showmance and made Catherine cry. And Kelley said, I can't imagine her husband clapping for that move. Now, Vince defended and said it was a game move and said he thought her husband would be proud. And even Keanu, who wanted Reilly to stay, said, yeah, it was a good game move. For the record, Brendan was proud and clapping and said Rachel is on the right side of history for targeting Reilly, even though she doesn't even know about all the ick stuff on the live feeds. What's also funny about Kelley is I'm not sure where they even got her. because you are supposed to break up showmances. Like she just has no clue. That's Big Brother 101. That's nothing to do with Rachel. That is a standard BB target. They vote together and they double their odds at veto. Some other live feeds fun. The house guests were talking about Catherine, and Keanu said her shoes smell. And Rachel said she leaves her dirty underwear on the floor. Apparently, Mickey said she doesn't wash her hands after using the bathroom. This all started because Will was asking, does Catherine cook? And then that prompted a discussion about maybe not wanting her to because the lack of hand washing and whatnot. Also, I don't see Vince using the veto if he won it. You know, Kelley's deep into Delulu land if she thought Vince would hang that medal on her neck, because I don't see it. Also, as Kelley was talking to Vince, he was lying his ASS off. He said he would likely renom Rachel, but said Keanu was trying to talk him out of it. No, Keanu was trying to talk Vince into it. Also funny on Saturday feeds before they went down for the comp, Keanu was talking about Mickey being a dictator, which is one good read he actually had, because I've seen on the hashtag on X people calling her the Micktator, which is funny. Will told Ashley he didn't really want to win the power of veto and might throw it so long as he was sure Keanu didn't win it. And Will told Ashley, under no circumstances am I winning this thing, meaning POV. But then Morgan told Will he should try and win it to keep it out of other people's hands, but then not use it until Ava and Mickey. He can't choose between them, so he really can't play it. And Will seemed to think that in and was like, I didn't think about that, but he's going to play hard for it unless it's down to him and Keanu. Morgan and Ashley have been doing some hard work to convince Vince that Rachel won't nominate him were she HOH again in week 8. And Rachel told Vince she would like Kelley to go, but will vote how the judges' alliance wants. No one seems to want Ava out, and the judges and HOH Vince want noms to say the same. So here it is. When feeds came back up at almost 2 a.m. Eastern, Mickey had the golden power of veto. So that means she is safe. She's definitely playing it on herself. She is going to force a renom. And that means Vince may put up Ashley as a pawn, but on the other side of the house in the judges, they would like to see Catherine on the block. And that's hard since, that's the other half of the showmance. But then again, Catherine's so salty about Reilly going out and the people voting against him that might not be a bad renom. If he did put Ashley up, that would effectively be 2 pawns, Ava and Ashley next to Kelley, who could be the target, and then one of them wins BB Blockbuster, then one of the pawns may go home because Kelley has a good track record in that comp. So I think the pressure is going to intensify on Vince on Sunday to put Rachel on the block, and from the other side of the house to consider Catherine. I think it'd be hilarious if Keanu wound up on the block after pushing so hard for Rachel. And the thing is, she really wants to trust Keanu, but now she's heard what he's doing. So she's been giving him some serious side eye. And we will update you tomorrow on the Renom chatter. But for now, here's that photo, actually a couple of photos of Vince I wanted to show you. I will say I like a man with a beard, but a mustache alone I think is hard to pull off, especially a 1970s porn stash like Vince has. Here he is with and without the stash, and holy cow, he is so hot without the lip caterpillar. Why the heck did he grow that monstrosity when he is so pretty without it? Make it make sense.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.